Good day everyone. Today I will going to report about communication for work purposes, that is about minutes of meeting. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Joyce Songkayawan from BS Ed 1B. Minutes of meeting. What is minutes of meeting? It is summary of what happened at a meeting or purposes to recreate a record, to request or provide information or to persuade. So it means it is a record or document of what transpired in a meeting held. Next, we can write minutes of meeting in different ways. Formal minutes and informal minutes. Formal minutes, all information is included, while informal minutes, all information is summarized. But whether they are formal or informal minutes, still they have the same basic parts to use. Important things to consider while writing your minutes of the meeting. So first, company or institute name. Mention the name of the company or institute involved in the meeting. So by writing your minutes of the meeting, you must put or mention the name of the company or institute you are belong. Because it's really important to have a basis why you are gathered in one place. Like for example, Sangguniang Kabataan meeting, barangay officials meeting, FDS meeting which belong to the purpose, ang teachers meeting, PTE meeting, ang Dungganan meeting. So that is the example of the company or institute name. Next, date and time. Mention the date and time of the meeting along with the time zone. So it means that they are the starting point of the following meeting. They are helpful for those absent to know what discussed and what decision had been taken. In case of conflicts, they are useful to know what agreements were made by writing the date and time. Next, list of attendees. Mention the name of the and designation of all attendees of the meeting. So, the rule of minutes is very important for participants present and absent during meeting because the participants to the meetings have a remainder aid, or should I say, they are useful to inform people who didn't attend the meeting about what happened at the meeting. Next, agenda. Mention the agenda of the meeting because it is easier to take notes when you understand the subjects about which you are writing. Next, discussion. Note the key points discussed during the meeting. It may be necessary to keep discussion minutes in a situation where the process behind the decision may be in question later. Next, notes. Take note of the key important conveyed during the meeting by the attendees because it is important to take notes because it will help you to make your minutes of meeting. Next, action plan. Action items. The key action points discussed and finalized in the meeting can be written in this section. So, in action plan, action items in minutes of meeting, it includes the who, the what, and the when. For example, you have to determine the one person who takes responsibility for ensuring the tasks get done. You also have to describe the task and the expected date for completing the actions item. Next meeting. Mention the date and time of next meeting along with the time zone because it is important for them, or it is important to the participants to know the date and time in order for them to be ready in the next meeting. Next that we're going to tackle is guidelines in preparing the minutes of meeting. First, all motions and resolutions are recorded and proponents are identified by name. Seconded motions are also noted and recorded, although the ones who seconded them not to be identified. Faults of seconded motions must be recorded, and whether approved or rejected should be indicated in the minutes. Next, headings are used to mark report section. Titles should be all capital letters. Minutes of the previous meeting should be taken up. Do not report or written verbatim or word to word. What are said, summarize. Readers are most interested in results. Lengthy discussions, debates, and reports given should summarize. The past tense is used. These guidelines should be the basis to take notes. To take notes about what meeting was discussed or what agenda we discussing. Next, example of minutes of meeting. So let us find the things that should be found in the minutes. So first, let me first say this, that in minutes of meeting we can find the date, day, time, and place of the meeting. So we can see that here in this line, name of the group holding the meeting. This line, office of Sangguniang Barangay. Next, the attendance that I'm saying in my previous discussion. And we also consider to write the guests in our attendance. And this is the format of minutes of meeting in Sangguniang Kabataan or SK meeting. First, call to order, roll call, the previous minutes, or it is approval or amendment of minutes of the previous meeting. So in this minutes of meeting, this is their first time to have a meeting as an SK officer. Next, the agenda. So it is important to put the agenda for you to know what you're going to talk about. So next, what happens in the meeting, like what you're talking, what your agreement, what are your let's say that this is the summary of what happened in the meeting. Next, adjournment, or what time the meeting was officially closed. Next, the secretary's signature and the SK chairman approval. That's all, folks, and thank you for watching and listening my report. God bless everyone.